The Middle Ages were not just knights, castles, and crusades. Behind the stone walls of every dungeon lay instruments of suffering so horrifying that even the Catholic Church, an institution that ordered the Inquisition, eventually declared them too evil to use. Today, we reveal 5 of them. 1. The rat torture interrogators would strap a prisoner flat on a table. A metal bucket filled with live rats was then placed on the prisoner's bare stomach and slowly heated from above. As the temperature rose, the rats had only one way to escape, through the body beneath them. This method was favored because it left no visible marks on the outside of the body. The victim would confess to anything within minutes. It was used extensively during the Spanish Inquisition and in Dutch prisons. Number 2. The Judas Cradle. This device looked almost innocent. A simple wooden pyramid mounted on a frame. The victim was suspended above the pointed tip by ropes, then slowly lowered. There was no blade, no fire, no blade. Just geometry and gravity doing the work over hours, sometimes days. Executioners would add weights to the victim's legs to increase the pressure. Almost nobody survived the Judas Cradle. Those who did were never the same. It was considered so effective it spread across all of Europe within decades. Number 3. The Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden of Nuremberg is perhaps the most iconic torture device in history, a hollow iron cabinet shaped like a woman, lined on the inside with sharp iron spikes. The door was closed slowly, the spikes positioned to pierce non-vital organs, keeping the victim alive and suffering for hours. What most people don't know is that historians now believe the Iron Maiden was built as a museum exhibit in the 1800s, assembled from unrelated medieval artifacts to shock tourists. The real torture was often far more mundane and far worse. Number 4. The Pear of Anguish. Small enough to hold in one hand, the Pear of Anguish was a metal device divided into segments like a flower bud. Inserted into the mouth, it was then expanded using a screw mechanism, slowly, deliberately, until the jaw shattered. Different versions existed for different crimes. It was used on liars, blasphemers, and those who spoke against the church. Victims who survived were permanently disfigured and could never speak normally again. The message was clear. Some words carried a price that lasted a lifetime. Number 5. The Strappado. Of all the devices on this list, the Strappado required no tools at all. Just a rope, a ceiling beam, and patience. The prisoners' hands were tied behind their back. They were hoisted into the air by their wrists, then dropped, stopped just before hitting the ground. The sudden jolt dislocated both shoulders instantly. This was repeated until confession. The genius of the Strappado was its deniability. No marks, no blood, no evidence. Dante himself referenced it in the Inferno. It was used by the Roman Inquisition for over 500 years. These weren't acts of chaos, they were systems, designed, refined, and institutionalized by governments and churches that called themselves civilized. History has a way of revealing what civilization actually looked like behind closed doors. If you want more of the truth they buried, subscribe. New dark history every week.